Today is Eric and I's very first wedding anniversary. We got married on September 5th, 2015. I made a freaking massive blog post about our wedding and the whole planning process, different things we chose, why I chose them. So if you want all those details, I will have that linked below. So today what I wanted to do is kind of take you behind the scenes, a little more personal, and share some fun pictures with you. So I picked out a selection of photos and I'm going to go through them with you right now. My friend Taylor, one of my oldest friends, I think she actually is my oldest friend. She still lives in Northwest Washington. My parents still live up there. Eric's family's over on the East Coast. A bunch of my friends live in Portland. I have someone in Arizona. So they're kind of scattered all over the place. And I was living in San Francisco. Basically what she did is shipped me a package and she said, I got you a gift and I want you to open it on camera. So can we Skype while you open it? I said, absolutely, that sounds so fun. Thank you for sending me something. I got on Skype with Taylor at the time. We had set up and then I had the box ready to go that I had just picked up from the post office. And so when I opened it, it had a card and she's like, you start with the card. And I could tell this box had a lot of crap in it. I was like, what on earth did you get me? And I thought maybe she was sending me stuff from her wedding. I wasn't really sure, but there was a card inside that said something really cute and it was hand drawn and it said welcome to your bridal shower. So I read it out loud and then she made some kind of freaking bat signal and all of a sudden all these people log in on our Google Hangout and my mom, my old friend from middle school is on there, my friend's kid, my college friends, I mean just everybody. Eric's mom. It was crazy. So everybody logged on all of a sudden. I was like, what is happening? She's like, okay, now you can open the box. And there was a mini bottle of champagne. She was like, it's your bridal shower. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? So then she's like, okay, now you can get into the next layer of the box. So I pull over the next layer and there's all these freaking presents from different people. So basically everyone bought me presents and I got just showered with gifts. And it was weird because I was alone in my own apartment in San Francisco, but I had all these people on Skype and it was crazy. It was so fun. I love seeing people try on different dresses and see which one they choose. So I just wanted to share with you a couple dresses that I tried on in the store. I don't think I've ever shared these photos before. So first I was looking at more of a sheath style. I didn't want it to be too big and I wanted lace and some tulle. So that's where I picked out this one online. I did not like it. I still don't like it looking at it. My bridal consultant picked out this one, which I freaking fell in love with. But unfortunately, it was not very comfortable. And I really wanted to be comfortable on my wedding day. So as much as I loved this and it had such a cool, that leaf pattern on it is so me, I love that dress. But it wasn't right for me. It's too tight. I wanted something that was more comfortable, flowy, kind of like a boho feel. And then my bridal consultant was like, do you want to try on anything else? I was like, no, I think that's good. And she's like, okay, well, we're going to try on a ball gown because everyone has to try on a ball gown. I was like, okay. Because I knew I didn't want a ball gown. So I wasn't going to ask because I feel bad making her go through all the work and everything. She's like, no, you got to try one on. So she just put one on me that was over my budget completely, not within my wedding theme, just completely for fun, and it was really, really fun to put it on. This is the dress I chose. Lace up top, champagne skirt, ivory tulle over it, and then I picked out that belt separately. So I really love it. It's perfect. It's just perfect. So this is our wedding venue. It's a 100-year-old restored conservatory. Tons of windows, lots of wood on the inside, natural colors, succulents, palm trees, beautiful flowers on the garden area. It was beautiful. It was very small, but we had about 50 people at our wedding, so it worked really well for us. This is the door to get in. It's a squirrel. Yep. So our rings. You've probably seen this in my videos. You might have noticed it and been like, holy cow, why is her ring so big? I don't know, because for me, this is way bigger than I ever expected to have. Eric actually proposed to me, fun fact, with no ring. I don't know, it's kind of how we are. We don't really buy each other gifts, and he knew that I'm going to be wearing this forever, so he wanted me to pick it out. We didn't have very much money. This was free because it's from my grandma. So that means a lot to me to be able to wear my grandma's ring. It happened a few months after we got engaged. My uncle reached out to me and he said, hey, I have your grandmother's rings. So he said, we've been praying a lot lately and we think that your grandmother would have wanted you to have them. This whole set is from my grandma. The one that you're seeing in this picture is just the engagement ring. It also has a wedding band that it fits into it. The craziest part is that when I received these in the mail, don't worry, it was very insured, heavily tracked package. I put it on, it didn't need any sizing. It fit me literally perfectly. It was insane. just so crazy. I feel so like #blessed to have this ring, but in all seriousness, I really do feel like very, very lucky to have something like this. It's just crazy. My grandma and I had an awesome relationship too. Eric's ring that you can see in this picture is from his grandfather on his mother's side. They both match, they both fit us perfectly, and they both have such like awesome meaning behind them. It's just like better than I ever could have asked for. This is actually not the ring that my grandmother like got originally when they got married. So my grandma got married in the 40s, and back in the 40s you didn't exchange diamond rings. It wasn't a thing. Like the diamond ring industry came about in, I think, the 50s or 60s, maybe even later than that. They got married and exchanged the simple rings. Tried the ring on Eric and it just didn't look right on him. And then the one from my grandma means a lot to me, but I mean, she would have been like, girl, why are you wearing the simple wedding band? Like, you gotta wear this one. And I put this on, I was like, just completely in love. This is a picture of me wearing her original wedding band next to a picture of her wearing the wedding band as well. And on the back of that picture of her, it says like something about how she thinks her fingers are chubby and the ring looks bad on her, but she's like so happy to be married. When I put on the ring, I was like, ugh, this is not good on me. I feel like my fingers are chubby. And it was just so funny to see that my grandma had the same reaction. So the next picture is something I put together and shared on Facebook a couple days before our wedding, or maybe a week. The picture on the left is the one you just saw of my grandma wearing her wedding band. She got married in 1944. The woman in the middle is my maternal grandmother, so that's my mom's mom. And she got married in 1956. So my mom is on the right, and she's wearing the exact same dress that my grandma wore. I did not wear that dress because first of all, we couldn't find it. Second of all, it's not in very good condition. And third, I'm too fat. She got married in 1982. Oh, and my mom and I got married at the same age, 25. Now we're getting into the day of the wedding. This is actually a really cute picture that my friend took. I found it on her Instagram with our wedding hashtag that I use. And this is us getting ready. My friend Taylor did my hair and I did my own makeup. This is a selfie that my friend, I think Taylor is taking this selfie. We'd just gotten ready and we're like, oh, we look so good. So we took a selfie and I just really love this picture. So glad I kept my bridal party small. It was so fun to have like a little entourage during the day. That's the best part about having bridesmaids, is like their job during the day is to like hang out with you, and they're the people that you want to hang out with the most. Did I mention that we got married in San Francisco? I hope I did. So this picture is actually in Golden Gate Park. This is from our first look. I mean, the next series of pictures are all in Golden Gate Park. If you don't know what a first look is, basically it's an opportunity to take pictures before your wedding so that you don't have to like have a huge break in between to get all the photos. You capture the moment that the bride and groom see each other for the first time on their wedding day. I had set Eric up facing the opposite direction. I kind of walked down this path, tapped him on the shoulder, and then we saw each other. And I think these pictures are really sweet. Our smiles are really like genuine. I really like them. Our photographer, by the way, is awesome. I will link him down below. His name is Alec O'Grady. He is actually a really young guy who just has a talent for photography. I thought he did a really good job on our wedding. He actually ended up doing our wedding for free. And if you're wondering how that happened, go read the blog post. This is my mom and dad. I just like this picture. I love my mom and dad. And then this is Eric with his family. In case you can't tell, we really didn't have a color scheme. I just kind of picked out things I liked and kept it to like natural tones, and I think it turned out really nice. These are my brothers. This about describes our relationship. And then this is a big picture of everyone who is at that like photo shoot that happened before the wedding. Oh god, I love this picture. So I actually put this collage together. I asked my photographer to take individual silly pictures of everyone so I could put together a collage, and this is how it turned out. I think everyone did a fantastic job except my brothers, who are so lame up in the top. That's why I made them the tiny pictures. You guys didn't do anything. You're just like... The moms are so cute, and then the dads are just like inappropriate. I don't mean to brag, but I think I look really good in this picture too. So this is another picture of my bridal party. They're such freaking G's. I look so lame in this picture, and they're like, so. This is Eric and his groomsmen. How much do you love their ties? For real though. I was really worried because my dress and my bridesmaids' dresses are more of an ivory, and then they're all in like white shirts, and so I kind of fought that for a while, but as it turned out, it was totally fine. Like, weddings are so stressful to plan, and it's because people stress over the dumbest shit. Like, there's so much stuff with weddings that I wish I had just not cared about and just done the easiest option and the cheapest option and just forgotten about it, because I stressed too much over the tiny details. But I also planned my wedding myself. The majority of it, Eric was in Taiwan and I was in San Francisco living by myself, working full-time, taking care of our very needy dog. There is a book that I read that really helped me out, and I'll link that in the description below. It really helped me to just kind of like reset my thinking and like prioritize what was actually important important and stay sane. I am glad I obsessed over the ties. I really do like these ties. Oh my gosh, so this is a silly picture of like the entire bridal party. They are freaking ridiculous. All these people have the weirdest sense of humor, and it was just great. Taylor and my friend Mary Gray both look like they're gonna cry. Sorry, it just looks like the fuck. I don't know what's happening with Buddy and Jason. And then Dave looks blind. This is my brother driving the car, and this is a selfie that I took of all of us because he chauffeured us around from the rental house my parents had to photos to the venue. I don't know how to fully explain Scrappy, this tiny Ewok stuffed animal. Okay, basically I found him in a random like donation bin in college. I know, I took something from a donation bin. He's like a brand new Star Wars toys with like tags on and stuff. I was like, he doesn't want these tags. I ripped him off and I named him Scrappy. I don't know if I had been drinking or what, but it's this like long-standing inside joke. He's like part of our group of friends. Basically, Scrappy's been around the world. We never really know who has Scrappy, and he's kind of creepy, so the whole point is like you just hide him in places and he like surprises you. So one of my friends had brought Scrappy to my wedding, and I had no idea until like basically this moment. So in the area where we took that like photo with Scrappy, it was basically the entire bridal party. So me, Eric, my entourage, his entourage, like the groomsmen, bridesmaids, we're all like kind of hanging out on this area up the stairs from the venue. We were all just hanging out, and someone I think went like across the street to a convenience store and got beers and champagne, and we were just like sitting up there drinking. It was really fun. Probably my absolute favorite choice that I made regarding wedding planning was to put wedding photos in frames behind us, kind of as a backdrop. I was told that like it wasn't going to take up much space because they're just little 5x7 pictures, so it's not going to be a good backdrop, but I'm so happy that I just stuck to my guns and did it because I think it was so special to me to be able to look back and see them. Eric's family is on the right and mine's on the left, or like sides or whatever. Starting on the right is Eric's parents, and then his maternal grandparents, his paternal grandparents, and then mine's the same way. So it goes my parents, my maternal grandparents, my paternal grandparents. All those couples are like either still married or passed away married. We have a history of really long relationships in our family, and so we wanted to just kind of honor that. Oh, I wanted to include this photo because a lot of people who attended our wedding probably didn't realize that these are the cake cutters from my parents' wedding. Oh, and as you can see, we've got a Whole Foods bakery bag or box or whatever in the background. We did, in fact, get our cake from Whole Foods. This is really sweet. So this is my dad and I walking down the aisle. I really like that you can see the detail at the top of my dress, too, because I thought it was gorgeous. Like, there were so many times leading up to the wedding that I opened up the wedding dress bag and, like, looked in, and I just was always like, oh, it's so pretty. Oh, yeah, so once we got to the end of the aisle, my dad surprised me and took a selfie. Yep. That's my dad. That's probably where I get it from. Okay, so I wanted to include this photo so I can point something out to you. The main issue with doing your own makeup on your wedding day is that you end up using your own products and products that you know work with your skin instead of work for like showtime kind of thing. I should have just worn completely waterproof showtime stuff, but I think what I did, if I'm remembering correctly, is I used a layer of this mascara which runs like crazy. It's like organic mascara, and it's because I have really sensitive skin. I have eczema, as you guys know. So I used that on my lashes first, and then I applied a waterproof mascara, and I also used eyeliner that said it was waterproof, but I had never tested it out before, which was a huge mistake. And I cried like a freaking baby when I walked down the aisle. I started walking down the aisle, and then I saw everyone, and I was like, I know every single person, and they're looking at me with like the sweetest like look of like love and support, and it was just so sweet that I just like cried happy tears. Let me just do a quick close-up on this picture so you can see how bad my makeup ran. Eric really helped. He did like a big old like thumb like and like wiped a bunch of it off. Thank you, Eric. Always looking out. This is actually my uncle. The minister behind us is my uncle. He also co-officiated my parents' wedding. This was a very family-oriented affair, in case you can't tell. The flower garland thing above us, you can probably tell, but maybe you can't. It's fake from craft stores. I looked into getting real ones, and it was just so freaking expensive, and I was like adamant on having that, and I'm so glad I did because I think it looks awesome. Oh, this is sweet. So this is our kiss when they're like, you can now kiss the the bride. And then I wanted to include this picture because of, like, first of all, we looked so happy. This is so sweet. This is the moment when we just started walking down the aisle again after we got married. I just wanted to show you how important it is to have a freaking hashtag on your wedding day. Everyone has their smartphones with them. Everyone will take them out. Everyone will take pictures. And personally, I thought it was awesome because the more documentation, the better. And you know, we had a free photographer who worked by himself completely, so it's not like he had an assistant to take like backup shots. It's really cool that like everyone was like taking photos on their phone and we got to see them like right afterwards. It was just really awesome. Also, I know that on my hard drive that I left in the States, I have video. Eric's cousin filmed, I'm pretty sure, the entire wedding ceremony and every single speech. So what I want to do is edit all that down and share it with you probably in the next wedding anniversary video. Not only did his cousin take video of the whole thing, somehow he was also like snap, 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 snap. 2 days later at my birthday bar crawl, he gave us a CD with all these photos and he's like, here you go. And I was like, what is this? And he's like, this is about 4,000 photos from your wedding. And I was like, what? There's 2 reasons I wanted to include this photo. First of all, we look so happy and it's so cute seeing us walk down the aisle. And second of all, look at that face on the left-hand side. That is my friend Mia. That is love right there. Mia actually threw me a bachelorette party when she realized that I had no old friends to throw me a bachelorette party. We were really new friends. And she was like, I'm gonna throw you a party. Like, what do you like? And I was like, I like being outside, I like food, and I like music. So we went to a free outdoor music festival, had a picnic. It was in a beautiful park in San Francisco called Stern Grove. And then we went to, I think we got Chinese food. Oh, and then we got drunk, of course. It was just so cool that like so many people came out during this time to support us and like just shower us with love. And that's why weddings are so cool, because you know everybody and everyone loves you and you love them, and it's just like this crazy cool day and cool time in your life. This picture, I don't think I shared on social media. Not very many people have seen it for sure. My double chin is freaking real in this picture. I just think it's really sweet because basically what happened is we walked out of the wedding ceremony and I just felt so much love in there and it was so special to me, and I just loved the ceremony so much. As soon as we got out of the building, I just started crying, and so I was just like, and this is like right before I started crying, and Eric just thinks it's so cute. He's a much more like emotionally stable person. I'm like a freaking roller coaster. This is him just comforting me right outside the venue. Right after we had the ceremony, Eric and I walked up this like long set of stairs, which was somewhat difficult in a wedding dress, but it was totally worth it. We just wanted to get a few more pictures, and we knew the time of day would be perfect, and we knew the backdrop was really pretty. This is us walking across the street, and the photographer catching this is just, I'm just so grateful. I freaking love this picture. I think it's magical. So what you see in the background right there, like that hillside covered in houses, partway up the hill kind of is San Francisco, and then it turns into Daly City. So part of that is Daly City behind us. And this is kind of in the Glen Park area, if you're curious, if you're familiar with San Francisco. Very like urban, but still like natural. So it's just perfect. This is Eric and I's favorite photo from the whole day because we just look so happy. I think the photographer was making us laugh about something and just captured it at the perfect time. My favorite thing about our photographer was how comfortable he made us feel, because I don't love getting my picture taken. Like, I don't mind video for some reason, but I don't like the like posed shot. But he made us feel really comfortable. This is one of my favorite pictures from the day. I really love it. I think it's so pretty. Another one of my favorites. This is actually the picture that I included in our thank you cards that we sent out. And then this is a close-up of our table. The mason jar that you can see is actually an old blue antique mason jar that my mom shuttled down from Northwest Washington all the way down to San Francisco by car, along with like a billion people and like a ton of other stuff. And I'm so grateful. She had one for each table, so there's like 7 or 8 of them. We had 6 tables, I believe. But that's what we put our bouquets in. And I had the bridesmaids bouquets double as table centerpieces, and my bouquet was the sweetheart table centerpiece, so it all worked out really well. And then we had little wedding bells that I bought on Amazon. And links to like all this stuff, that's all in the blog post I linked below. It is very in-depth. Oh, okay, so when I was searching our wedding hashtag, I found this photo on my friend's Instagram. These are my friends Lindsay and Cam, and they reminded me with this photo that there were table wars at our wedding. So there was tables 1 and 2, and there was like some epic wars against the 2 tables. And it's because that's where we sat all the young people, like all our like, I think one table was primarily my close friends and the other table was primarily shared, and then also Eric's close friends. So it was like, it was just really freaking funny. And I included this shot so you could just kind of get an idea of what the venue looked like. Lots of wood. Really love how the bouquets look in the mason jars. Used like pretty floral napkins, and the champagne bottles look expensive. They're not at all. They're like $4 or $5 at Trader Joe's. They look really fancy though. Also, my friend Emily in the background right there, her dress has dinosaurs on it, which I thought was very magical. Okay, so this is actually a tablecloth that I bought for the sweetheart table like last minute. I had to get something on Amazon Prime and I was too busy and I just had no time. I was like, I'm just gonna freaking order something. I got this and it was so crappy. It's like this plastic, disgusting looking thing. You cannot steam it. You cannot get the wrinkles out. It looked awful. My mom's like, you are not using that as your tablecloth. I'm like, okay. So she ended up actually very graciously buying us another one like the day before the wedding. I didn't know she was gonna do this, but she turned it into a bib. So as soon as I like sat down and my friends put my plate of food together for me. It was so sweet. As soon as my friends like brought me food and then I sat down in my chair, she like came over and put this bib on me. My parents are jokesters, in case you can't tell. Selfies, tablecloth bibs, you know. This is our first dance. I was already very drunk. I was literally telling Eric we probably look like two drunken fools who like don't know how to dance. And he's like, yep, that's exactly what our first dance was like. Our tiny little cake. So we had two cakes. One was a nice big sheet cake from Whole Foods. That one was so freaking good. It was like chocolate and fresh strawberries. This is what I called my birthday cake, and then also the pretty cake. So they told me they could put coconut on the outside to make it really pretty. It's really small, and it's actually a vegan cake. Because I'm lactose intolerant, so I like vegan cake when possible. We never got a picture of this with the cake topper on. Oh, this cake stands from my old boss who let me borrow it. Super pretty. Then those are all fake flowers on the bottom. My mom found like these little twigs of, where did you even get those, Mom? I don't even know what those are. They're like little twigs of like herbs or something. I don't know, it looked really cute though. And then we had a cake topper that was like two little birds. It was really sweet. This is the next day. Eric and I stayed at a swanky hotel downtown, and obviously we walked in our wedding outfits, so we got upgraded immediately to a corner room on one of the high floors. It was like a freaking suite, so we walk in and there's like a sitting area. There's like 3 couches in there, a ridiculous bathtub, huge shower, like awesome view. It was a really great hotel room. To be perfectly honest with you, we took an Uber from the venue to the hotel, went across the street, got some drinks, came back to the hotel. Eric had a few beers, and I like don't remember anything because I just freaking passed out. We really didn't enjoy the hotel room too much. Like I kind of regret paying that much money for a hotel, because in case you ever traveled to San Francisco, you know how expensive the nice hotels are downtown. I think it was like $350 for one night. The next day we went to one of the nice restaurants on the pier. I believe it was an organic restaurant, and I knew that they had oysters, and Eric wanted oysters and Bloody Marys. We wanted Bloody Marys. So this is just a close-up shot of Eric drinking a Bloody Mary, and then that stand just to the right side of the picture has oysters on it. And this is the last photo I'm going to show you, and probably the most fun one. The picture at the top is from the night that Eric and I first met ever. We met in Las Vegas. I could make a video about how we met. It's an insane story. Never quite heard something like this before. That's 2 of my bridesmaids in there, one of Eric's groomsmen in that shot. All the people in the photo on the top from the night in Vegas were at the wedding, every single one of them. And so the photo below is us trying to recreate that picture. That was at my birthday bar crawl 2 days after the wedding. The only thing is that we replaced Ruth with Emily because Ruth had to like go home earlier than we thought. I think it's so amazing that we could like recreate this shot from Las Vegas to San Francisco. This is like, it's so cool to have. Alright, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said before, I have a huge in-depth blog post about our wedding down below in the description. I also have a bunch of other links down there, so be sure to go check them out, and I will see you very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye! No.